business speaker, entrepreneur. He travels the country. Normally he speaks in a room full of hundreds of people, so it's truly an honor to have Bill with us today. He has mentored some of America's leading business people, and he's humble. You know, he's just an amazing personality. He's very well connected. He has complimentary resources that he's going to share with you today that is going to elevate your business, whether you're an investor, a broker, an entrepreneur in a totally different arena. What you're going to learn today will definitely be beneficial and very helpful in your business. So please take notes, because he's going to be sharing some incredible nuggets today. So thank you so much, Bill.
Hey, Bill, you have a USB stick or something you want to plug into this?
No, you just lid all it up on it. So. I see a flip chart. You gonna bring a flip chart over?
Okay.
Come on, good morning. How's everyone doing? So give these guys a big round of applause for putting this on. Yes, not easy to do. And you know, funny, whether it's 7 people or 7,000 people, you still give the same energy. Good. You guys okay with it? How many guys actually own a business? How many guys are entrepreneurs? How many guys are maybe in transition? Have been in transition? Maybe 1 or 2. I didn't say unemployed, I said transition, right? Big difference, yes? How many guys like the idea of residual income? Okay, so say the word residual. Residual. Now say it like you're getting it. Residual. It feels good, doesn't it? It gives a different energy, yes? Yeah. But who here took classes in college or high school how to get residual income? You did? What college had that?
We did some business development stuff at City College here, and did some, it was kind of a project that we did.
Yeah.
It was like, it's their theory, it was actually reality.
Because I've yet to see many colleges in this whole country that teach residual passive income. And most of us don't realize we already have all the gifts you need, right? So do me a favor, put your finger right here. Just rub your temple for a second, kind of wake your temple up. Say, I have great intellectual property. Say, I am going to monetize my intellectual property. Now turn left, right, and say, that's interesting. You see, my business partner, he wrote a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. He was laughed at for that same test. They told him that he was stupid, he was dumb. No one's going to buy your stupid chicken soup books. But they've sold 500 million copies. Say 500 million. If you sell 500 million anything, is that pretty good, yes or no? Yes. So you realize when other people laugh at your ideas, understand that, you know what? They don't laugh because they don't believe. They laugh because they never see it themselves. Does that make sense? They don't have the vision or the balls to go after what they want to do in life. Does that make sense? And a lot of times people, how many guys really are serious about growing your business? I mean, really serious. Would you do 3 things if they were free and legal over the next 90 days to make a lot more money? Come on in. Lots of seats right in the front. But there's coffee over there, so I'd say get some coffee first. Number 1, turn off the TV. Would that be okay? Yes. It's designed to keep you stupid. Number 2, how many of you guys know some negative people? How many of you guys know some really negative people? How many of you guys live with that person? So write this down. When it comes to your business, they all have to go. If not, they're going to kill you. And number 3, I'd recommend that you look up this guy today. His name is Jim Rohn. Go to your websites, your phones, go to YouTube, type in Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N. Who's ever heard of Jim Rohn? Who's never heard of Jim Rohn? Okay, who's ever heard of Tony Robbins? He was Tony's first employer. So I realized that the gift he left is his legacy of his words, and I can tell you that communication is everything. And you won't find a better guy with communication language than Jim Rohn. So just do 10 minutes of Jim Rohn per day. So no TV. Remove yourself from all those negative people. Yes? Because I do know this, if you hang out with 4 broke people, you'll be the 5th. It's only a matter of time, right? And the third thing is 10 minutes of Jim Rohn per day. And I'm here to show you today what are some key drivers to launch, grow, and build a great business. Obviously, my background is simple. Born in Chicago, high school and college a trader, did 10 years of turnarounds. I'd come to your company, either take it public, close it and sell the assets, or turn the business around. And after 10 years, I was burnt out. Has you ever felt burnt out? I wrote this down, there has to be more, so I took 2 years off. Because sometimes you got to check out to check back in, yes or no. That's exactly what I did. We came back, we formed a marketing partnership with a company called GoDaddy. Who's heard of GoDaddy? Now you have it back then, probably not that big of a deal, right? Another company in Utah that we liked was a gentleman by the name of Stephen Covey, wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. So we actually bundled in a good website, get you organized on the business plan. What I didn't have then was the money. How many of you guys are about $1 million short of the marketing money? Put your hands up high and say that's me. So we had great ideas, but no marketing. And sure enough, I figured out that if I could have the right partners, I didn't need the money, I needed the partners. That makes sense? I need the influencers. Any authors here today? Be an author? Would you like to be an author? So what happens if Oprah says she likes your new book? Instant sales, right? I want you to think about that today. In your world, who are 5 people that play at the highest level that if they got behind your product, your service, your real estate deal, that your business would skyrocket? Who are those 5 game changers? Write their names down. I'm not saying you know them today, but who are the 5 people? Don't write down Bill Gates. Write down people you could actually connect to, right? That you could actually, if they got behind your story, you'll have more business. Because I didn't know what I didn't know and I thought I did, right? I knew I had a great product to serve a small business, but I didn't have the marketing dollars, but I did find the marketing partners. And I learned a process, write this down too, called create value first. If I could learn to create value first, anything was possible. And that's what I learned to do, and I got some of the best marketing partners in the world. And sure enough, from that, right, crazy as it sounds, within 20 months we're in 20 countries selling a little business in a box. And it led from one thing to another, that we launched a new program in 2005, I know it's crazy, 12 years later, right, called the Rainmaker. The whole idea of the Rainmaker was make it rain, right? How do we work on your vision, your mission, your path, your purpose, your big why? How do we put a success plan together that lets you gamp out the next 2 years of your company? How do you help you with the internet marketing, the sales funnels, the loyalty programs, and the marketing partners? How do you get the right business partners to grow that company? How do you get the right investors? How do you attract the right investors for deals? And of course, along that line was also how to get the stuff out of your head, how to clear some of the garbage out. And then, of course, get organized. How many of you guys have clutter in your life? Anybody have clutter in your life? I'll give you the clutter test. Just take me out to your car.
Yeah.
Just show me the trunk of your car. Because if the trunk is cluttered, what else is cluttered? Everything. And when all that happened, we bundled the course, and sure enough, we only took a couple hundred students the first year, a couple hundred the next year, and it was sold out each year. We're selling at $5,000 a ticket, so people are pretty serious about growing their business. And by 2007, we went back to where the roots were, which was the venture side. So not only do we have the educational course, we have the venture side to invest in some of these deals. And that's really where the magic's been for us, is that if you got something really great, and we can help you incubate it, grow it, take it to the next level, get the right partners, right? We just want to get a piece of the what? Piece of the deal. Because we have found in the real estate space 2 things you guys need. Write this down: connections and time management. What I've felt that kills most real estate people is connections, the right access, and time management. Because we're busy, but we're busy with the wrong people, right? And when we did all this stuff, we took the course from 2 cities to 40 cities. We opened up US, Canada, Europe, Caribbean, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, with the same intention. Come for 2.5 days, let's work on your company. You come with the idea, let's bake the idea and plan it and schedule it out. Because like building a home, you don't just throw a bunch of shit on the lot, do you? You have a good plan. You have good architects. You have good builders, good general contractors, or it doesn't happen. Well, same thing with your business. Give your business the same respect you'd give to building a high-rise. You'd give to building a small house. It doesn't matter. And when all that took place, we began to invest in some of those ideas. And the funny thing about that is that we knew we couldn't serve millions of entrepreneurs, and so we made the price more affordable. So right now you can write down exactly what the program costs, so you know there's no confusion, right? It's 6 payments of $500, roughly $3 grand, or 1 payment of $2K. It's good for you, it's good for your business partner and your kids if they're under 21. Not your kids that are 35, does that make sense? Yes? Yeah. So now we know exactly, and you'll hate me for 90 days, you'll love me for the rest of your life. Because the first 90 days are the toughest. You've got to build everything out. You've got to put the work into it. But we'll give you the plan, the systems, and access to the teams, how to build the right teams. And we ask for 2 things, is that number 1, if you make more money, you give back to a local charity. Who would give back to a local charity? Yes? And if you made more money, who here would let us publish your story? Would that be okay? And those are the 2 things we ask for, right? And you know, it's funny when you look back and you don't think how fast time goes, but I do believe that days go slow and years go fast. Would you agree? And that's exactly how it's happening. How many of you guys are really serious about being a part of an incubator group right here in Santa Barbara to launch, grow, build a better business? Put your hands up high. See, you all should be, because if you don't have a good mastermind team, you're not going to make it. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go really far, you go with a great team. Does that make sense? Look at every Fortune 500 company. They'll have a board of directors. Mid-management companies, they'll have a board of advisors. Most entrepreneurs have what's called the broke brother-in-law. How many of you guys have one of those? Did you ever notice that broke people have all the advice yet they've never built one damn thing? But they can sure tell you how to do it, right? And after that, we launched private masterminds. We launched speaker programs, so they want to speak and sell from the stage. We became really well known. We launched these big internet marketing camps in Vegas. As a matter of fact, we do this party once a year in Vegas, once a year in Chicago. We rent out the top of the foundation room, and then we have 2 days of internet marketing and marketing partners. So you actually come there and pitch your ideas to a bunch of our clients. We charge like $5,000 for that Vegas event. Who'd like to come as my guest? Who'd like to come as my guest? You were the first one to raise your hand back there. Stand up, come here. I got a ticket for you.
Oh, thank you.
Who else would like to come? Oh yeah, see that was fast. You were the first one. There you go. That's on me, yeah, for sure. Because I know for a fact that if you're around the right people, it's a game changer, yes or no? What I realized with access was the big thing. If I could have the right access to the right people, it'd make a huge difference in the business. So in 2012, we were approached by a group out of New York that needed $1 million. They had this really cool idea to launch these expos. You can put that right in the middle here, my friend. Put it right here. Yeah, let me just slide this table over to you a little bit. Put it right in the center. And they had this idea to put these expos in all these cities. My partner said it was crazy. People don't go to expos. Don't waste your money. You know, be this platinum sponsor and titanium sponsor. And I believed in it. So write this one down too. You've got to believe in yourself when nobody else does. You have to believe in yourself when nobody else does. Funny thing is now, 6 years later, 100,000 attendees a year. So yeah, it's really kind of fun to come speak to a group of 10 or 12 people when we have 5,000 plus 2 times a month. You know, I know Lindy, she's doing 27 events a year. We run 300 events a year. So I can tell you that it's been a crazy year, but man, it's been a great year. And I thank God every day for all the blessings, right? But it's only because of the fact we've had the right team and the right systems and the right partners. You know, to have Google on our stage now, speaking at our events, that's a pretty big deal. Would you agree? Yeah. How do you guys like to have Google sponsor anything you do? Say, that's me. So it's all about having the right team, the right partners, but then also people who ever see the work that goes into that. So what I'm here to tell you today is that most of these overnight success stories you hear about are usually about 10 years in the making. Is that fair? And there is no get rich quick. It's just get rich. Say get rich. Get rich. Come on, say get rich. Get rich. Say it's my time to get rich. It's my time. And rich doesn't always mean money. Does that make sense? It could be quality time with your family. It could be building a community like our host does here today. Give our host a big round of applause. They kick ass and make it. And of course for yourselves, just for showing up. It's not easy to get up. You got a beautiful ocean right here, you know, 2 blocks away. Do I go to the real estate event or I go to the ocean? Well, you know, I shot a video this morning about showing up. And I don't think people realize that the people that show up win the most. And they win consistently because, write this down, they're persistently consistent. They're persistently consistent. After that, we began to buy other companies, social media companies, online marketing sites, branding companies, business flipping companies, real estate companies. Because I figured the fastest way to grow, write this one down too, is buy your competition. Just buy them. You can buy companies for not a lot of money these days because they all need some help. They need marketing. And then, of course, most recently, we got really involved with charitable work. I'm on the board for Unite for Good, Unite for Humanity. We do huge events around the world to give back to local charities. And then this year, we're launching our success centers, right? So we're opening up centers in Chicago, New York, and LA, all designed as incubator centers for small business, almost like a country club for entrepreneurs. Never been done before. No offices. We're like the unoffice, you know, but our idea is deal flow. And we teamed up with a group called Club Corp. Have you heard of Club Corp at all? Club Corp has 23 business centers across the country, 200 country clubs, 400,000 members. It's mainly the elite entrepreneurs like to get together and utilize these facilities to core and grow their businesses. And that's kind of how we got here today. And I do feel honored to travel the world and speak and help companies grow. So if you have an idea or a business or maybe need capital or partnerships, I can help with all those things. What I am not is I'm not a good cook. Does that make sense? I can't cook at all. I can make reservations. I'm not a life coach. I can't give you life coaching. I'm not a relationship coach. But I've been ranked 3 years in a row by Guru Magazine's top 30 small business coaches in the world. So when it comes to small business, and that's under $250 million in revenue a year, there's no doubt I can help in a big way. Yes? So before I kind of dive into that, I always like to take a couple questions. It's always fun to kind of, you know, we've got a nice room here, we can actually have like a conversation. If you had a question for a business coach or a venture person that's got I got a lot of background in real estate too, more in finance and certainly in marketing. But if there's any questions you guys have, I'll be willing to take a couple questions before we kind of dive into some content that shows you how do you move the needle, right? How do you get from where you're at today to where you know you're supposed to be? And I'll give you an example. How many of you guys have some really big goals? You guys had really big goals last year that didn't show up this year. So what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over.
And expecting a different result, yes or no?
Yeah,
And what happens is we land ourselves in a place called Busyville. What's it called?
busy bill.
And Busyville gets you pretty close to being broke, yes or no? Sometimes it's not broke financially. The worst kind of broke is broke up here. And I believe the #1 killer for entrepreneurs is self-doubt. Henry Ford was smart. He said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're what, Eddie? You're right. So what questions do you guys have? You've only got me here for a short time. I literally come here, we jump on a jet and go right to Vegas this afternoon for another event.
Are you a licensed realtor or broker?
Not at all. Zero. None of that. Just investor.
And if you lived in Santa Barbara, what would you do to continue your business? Would you feel like you were trapped here and needed to move someplace else, or do you feel like you could do it no problem here?
I don't think you're trapped anywhere. I can do business anywhere. I could wake up in any city in the world and start doing business that day.
Okay.
You know, so realize you've got to have a big enough belief that you're bigger than the obstacles. Does that make sense? And I would never call the ocean in my back door an obstacle by any stretch of the imagination, right? Because today, I always believe in bigger views, right? We just spent the last 4 days at a think tank down in Atlantis in the Bahamas. We stayed in their crazy big royal suite, right? Just because I said, when you're in this place, you'll think bigger. You know what I mean? And because of that, we wound up putting together a deal to actually set up a little fund to fund down there in the Bahamas to begin growing companies worldwide. So one of our customers, one of my good friends, is now doing millions of dollars per month down there. And he said, look, we're looking to expand this, right? But what's the right process to do that? I said, the future of small business is what are called microloans. There's a lot of microloans out there that has lots of opportunity where companies need maybe $20,000 to $100,000 just kind of get the ball rolling. So if someone has a good idea, has the great leader, maybe to help with the plan, the systems, the timing, right? We're going to begin to get down that path because I think it's the early stage companies you can catch now, because what they think they need is money, what they really need is marketing. Does that make sense? So let's say you have a good product. You think I need $100,000 or $500,000 for the marketing. No, you don't need the money, you just need the what? The marketing. And the marketing can come from anywhere. So, you know, from that one little idea to go down there for a few days, opened up so many more doors. So, you know, a lot of times when you're in a place like this and you've got this kind of view, it's going to help you think bigger. So be out there to think bigger and always figure out, if I know where I'm going to go, who's required, write this down, who's required to get there, what's needed to get there, right? Who's the team? What does the schedule look like, right? And then what does the massive action look like? What does action look like for me? Because I don't tell people ever quit your jobs and live your dreams. I say work on your dreams part-time, they'll work on you full-time. And that's really where the fun is at. You know, for me, it's like you give me your idea where you want to go with something, we can help with the team and the systems and the programming and the partners. Because once you have that stuff, you become unstoppable. What I believe is that those big victories come from really small wins. How do you get those small wins every day? So turn left to right and tell somebody, you track your success. Come on, loud, tell them you track your success at the bank account.
At the bank.
Was your day successful? Not your year or your month. Was your day successful? Begin to look at building successful days. Starbucks knows all their sales worldwide in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. They have every barista by percentage, what sold, what didn't sell. People laughed at Walmart when they put antennas on top of the buildings. Oh, they're bringing cable for the stores. Those weren't cable dishes. Those were dishes for data. They had their data within 60 minutes. It took Sears 6 months. It was totally unfair competition. Why? Because they were always innovating. In real estate, you've got to be innovating. You've got to figure out how do I get the best partners? How do I find the best deals, right? And a lot of us through good marketing. Whoever markets the best are going to win the most. I'll give you an example. Who's ever seen really great products nobody buys? Come on, be honest. Seen great products nobody buys. Who's ever seen shitty products everyone buys? What's the difference? The marketing. So you've got to really figure out where you're at and how do you beat them, right? How do you win, but how do you win through innovation? No matter if you're in a small market or a massive market, it's still the same rule set. What else?
One last question.
Sure.
Crowdfunding. How do you feel crowdfunding should be used for real estate purchases? And
Well, let's just talk about capital in general, right? Not just crowdfunding. So when it comes to capital, write this down. Stay away from friends, family, and fools. Pretty simple rule. Stay away from friends, family, and fools. It really starts with writing a better plan. Creating a plan that attracts the right people, attracts the money. Be the leader that attracts the money. If you give me a good, great product with an okay leader, I'll pass. You give me an okay to mid-level product we can sell with a great leader, I'll take it all day long. I don't invest in the team or just the product, I invest in the leader. Because the leader will kill the business or make the business, right? So the same thing with you. You want to attract the right team, don't try to find a team, become the one that attracts the right team. And Need more capital for your business? Don't go chase the capital. Create a deal that really is great for the investors first, right? And then, of course, be the one that can deliver it. And then find in your team who are the unemployable experts. Who do you need around you to make it happen? So crowdfunding is just one source of capital. I like for small business, if your business is under $1 million, go trade barter. Use barter. You can trade for newspapers. You can trade for magazines. You can trade for legals, for printing, everything, all your services, right? And create your own digital products. Create some how-to on something. I don't care what it is. Make a 60-minute digital product that sells for a few $100. You can create that right from your phone, believe it or not, right? And so the idea, once again, is that don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. That's where all the fun's at. There's some coffee over there. Come in and make yourself at home.
Thank you.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions? What's your first name?
Jay.
Say hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Now you got a fan club.
I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how do you mentioned attract the right team, but how do you attract, or what's your keys to finding the right day-to-day business partners?
The right day-to-day business partners?
Yeah.
What do you mean by a day-to-day business
Well,
partner?
you may not be, you may be an entrepreneur, you may be business for yourself, but you may have partners in your business, or want partners in your business. Not your capital partners, not your deal partners, but your partners that are the core in your
So
company.
here's the bottom line. Number one, they got to believe in the vision. They've got to get behind your vision, right? And you go to where they hang out. You want to hang out with broke people, go to where broke people hang out. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You want to go to where rock stars are at, go to where the rock stars are at. And figure out who's the niche, who's the best in your space. You know, something Lincoln said a long time ago, he said, you know what? It's not about the general, it's about taking care of the horses. We can always make a new general. Does that make sense? We can't get 100 new horses. So part of this thinking is that how do you attract that right team? You build it from within. You become the one that they can't wait to work with you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And you do that by being persistently consistent and over-deliver. You create great results for your clients. Guess who they tell? Everybody. I mean, this last month, 2 of our clients came through our course 6 years ago. We're #1 in Inc. magazine for all the real estate firms in the country. #1. Did $200 million last month in sales, right? They sat in our Rainmaker seat 6 years ago and built that business from scratch. Right here in San Diego, it's called Big Block Realty. Look them up, right? Number 31 worldwide, but #1. But realize when they came to Rainmaker 6 years ago, they had no idea what the real estate business would look like. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's realizing that it takes time to do that, but you need to step into becoming that leader that attracts the right team. And if you're trying to find the right team, you're spending a lot of time and you're wasting a lot of dollars instead of becoming the leader in your space that brings the team to you. Good?
Yes, thank you.
And you got to go to where they're at, though. You can't, once again, wherever the leaders are at, that's where you got to be at. So, if you're looking for great real estate people in town here, then find some of the best real estate events. You're into health and wellness, Health East, Health West, right? You're into real estate development at all and any kind of commercial stuff, you got to go to the commercial events in Vegas. Throw a big party. You know, you're looking for money for your deals right now, write this down. Go to family offices. Family offices are sitting on so much money right now and they're looking for deal flow. Anything north of 10 to 12%, family offices are all about because they're sitting on buckets of cash. And I'm not talking about like tens of millions, I mean hundreds of millions of dollars that they're literally sitting with. And they're looking for deals right now. So you got to get yourself in front of any family office events if you're looking for capital. If you're looking for deal flow on the other side of the real estate stuff, right? Look to these, these people that are the best at finding the deals, right? Instead of going to find the deals, write this down, find people who are best at finding the deals. So always think like the owner of the stadium, not the person that does the bleachers or the quarterback. Think like the person that owns the stadium because they think differently. They don't think about what they're doing, write this down, think about what they're delegating. You guys clear on that? One last question. Any other questions? No? Yes? No? Okay, here's a good little test, right? So I want you to think about this for a second, is that wherever you're at today is probably because of the last couple of years of your work. Would you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to think about, there's one word, if you'll get this one word, there was a guy back in '85 that was fired from his own company. He was laughed at, told he was a joke, he couldn't produce anything, he doesn't belong in the computer business. And 2 people, how many?
2.
Believed in him. And they both wrote a check for $100 million apiece to reinvest and reinvigorate this company. Who knows what that company was called? You know? Apple. His name was? Steve Jobs. And he started with one word, the word was vision. He said, tell me where you want to go, right? And if you weren't part of his vision, he said, there's the what? There's one vote here, right? We have one big vision we're super clear on, and if you're not part of that vision, then you're part of the what? You're part of the problem. So I want you to think for yourself today, right? I want you to think right now, what are 3 big goals you have for the next 12 months? Just write them down. But they can't be money related. Come on, play full out. Write down 3 big goals you have for the next year. Pretend I'm on your board of advisors for the next 35 minutes, right? This 35 minutes will change your life for 2018 for sure if you just focus and play full out. But begin to think of 3 goals, not money related, but they're clear, specific, and measurable. Clear, specific, and measurable. Who's got one? Anybody got a goal? Let me hear one goal. Come on. This is a workshop. You're all business owners. You're all entrepreneurs. What's a goal you have for the next year? What do you got, Stacy?
Become better at marketing.
Excellent. So increase your marketing. Okay. Who else?
My goal is to transition my business from me working the day-to-day to find someone to run it for me.
Got it. So be able to buy back more free time.
Yeah.
Good. Who else?
Establish a business entity.
Excellent. Okay. We can undo that today.
Wholesaling one property between